I just walked in, but y'all already know me. Things in the world nowadays getting oldie. Chilling in the crib with the fam, getting cozy. Talking with my people, we at home with our homies.
So, what's up, guys? I am your host, Jason Ciano from Sabre Real Estate, and we are on At Home with the Homies with my homie, Tommy D. What's up, Tommy D?
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see your face.
Nice to see you as well.
Right? It's nice to see people that you enjoy spending time with and hanging out at cocktail parties, catching up. And that's not possible right now, but we can do stuff like this.
Absolutely. What people don't realize, Jason, is having friendly competitors and resources is a real key to making a real successful book of business in our business.
Absolutely. And
go
you and I,
ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, you and I were talking about how, you've been in the business now since 1998, right? Full time, you're saying. And we've been through, I'm in the business since the end of 2000. So similar, we've been through, 2001, the dot-com bubble burst, 9/11, 2008, Sandy, Katrina, all types of natural disasters, everything else. And man, I think if there's only a few things that are certain in life, it's downturns, unfortunate circumstances, death, and taxes.
Correct. Correct.
So,
and you can never be too prepared. As
Not
your
at
business,
all.
your personal life, and every way, measure twice, cut once, be prepared. As best, more prepared you are, the luckier you become.
I agree. And listen, man, I wake up every day in fear, and I'm sure you do too, right? That's how you got where you are. You don't wake up, oh, listen, I've built this amazing lifestyle for myself. Let me put my feet up and pretend like this is a snow day, right?
One thing that Paul Massey taught me was it's not about what you created, and it's not about the dollar amount. It's about winning and doing your best job every single day. I mean, I've learned that in a lot of different ways, but Paul Massey really said it. It was never about the dollars. It was always about being number one, being recognized, doing the best job you can.
Absolutely. So, what are your thoughts on just in general right now? I mean, obviously Trump announced that, extending isolation through the end of the month, and you're in New York City, right? You're whereabouts? What part of the city is your home?
I live on the corner of 50th and 2nd.
So you're right by Corey Zelnick.
Corey's a few blocks away from me. Corey, as you know, is one of my dear friends, same as you. As I said earlier, you need a good network of friends that are competitors, sounding boards. I don't do leasing. You predominantly don't do sales. I mean, I know you have in the past here and there, but you guys have been one of my go-tos as far as, hey, I don't do this. Can you guys help me? And your team and my team have collaborated on God knows how many transactions over the last 10 years.
Absolutely. And we love that relationship, and it's all about that. I mean, I don't really look at it as competition. I think that this, this event and it's changing so much about how I think about the world. It's you reprioritize. You have, first of all, tell me a little bit about your life before you got into this business, because it's fascinating. A lot of people probably don't know.
So I was born in Queens, New York, Ozone Park, Queens. At 20 years old, I became a New York City police officer. Maybe backtrack. At 18 years old, I joined the United States Marine Corps as a reservist. At 20 years old, I went to New York City Police Academy. At 21, got activated to go to the first Gulf War. Spent almost a year in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, and came back in the late 90s. I got hurt being a cop. Luckily, met Paul Massey, Bob Knackel. A few months later, I was working at Massey Knackel, spent 17 years there. Would still be sitting in the same seat had we not been fortunate to sell in 15. And, for the last 18 months, Paul Massey and I and a group of other professionals opened B6 Real Estate. And we're doing mid-market, sales, investment sales, user sales, development deals, and we have a strategic finance arm as well.
I mean, listen, that your story inspires me, and I'm so fortunate to know you and call you a friend, and our families are friends. You know, it goes way beyond commercial real estate, and you know, Tommy, it's so inspirational to hear your path, and how successful you've been. And I know you're modest, you know, so you know, I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you as a human, and the stuff that you're doing in business has always inspired me.
Well, Jay, you actually inspire me, and I make the younger gentlemen and ladies in my office try to inspire me as well. You could never learn too much. You could never say, hey, I made it, because no one has ever made it. You know, you're only as good as your last kill. You're only as good as your last, you know, deal. And when as long as you know that and you stay hungry and you're always open to learning and learning new ways. When, you know, my first 3 years at Massaneco, I didn't have an email address. I didn't have a computer terminal. And we sold buildings. So,
Yeah.
had we been dinosaurs and said that we don't need to get into the technology age, you know, we would have been out of business in 2003.
Yep, for sure,
Out of business. Man. So you always have to learn, have to grow. You have to listen. You have to build a good team around you. And an old timer one time told me 18 or 19 years ago, he said, Tom, he goes, the commission agreement's a formality with me. I was like, okay, like that's what they all say. He goes, no, let me explain why. He goes, I started as a broker, and he goes, and I built a really big portfolio. And he goes, I want to pay a broker and a referral on every deal. He goes, Tom, you should want to pay a co-broker and a referral on every deal. I said, why? He goes, that means you're doing so well and you have so many deals going on that deals are happening all over the place. And I never forgot that. And I never forgot that. So I treat my coworkers, my co-competitors, my referral sources almost better than I treat myself. Because
listen, I mean, that right there is so much value for everybody watching this. And I feel like I look at it the same way, which is why I say I don't look at it as competition, even with other brokers, because it's lifelines, right? Like other brokers outside of your own shop are lifelines the same way that landlords and, you know, attorneys and everybody else in the industry are. I would go on right now with you for the next hour and a half, you know, talking about life and business, but we're over the five minute mark by a bit, and I got to get into some questions and have some fun with Tommy D. You ready?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I don't even know what's on these questions, by the way, as usual. But the first one is, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had a cup of coffee and one of those Kirkland granola bars from Costco.
Excellent. What do you do to de-stress after a crazy day?
Well, I gave up scotch for Lent, and I gave up drinking during Corona, but I like to cook. So I'm writing a cookbook, and it's called Cuisine, and I like to cook comfort Italian food.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. And I'm going to be looking out for that. I want a signed copy.
Absolutely.
What was your first car, and did you name it?
I didn't. No, I did not name it. But my first car was a 1975 Chrysler Cordoba. If you remember the Ricardo Montalban commercials with the Corinthian leather. It
nice.
I paid $300 for it.
You have to sing karaoke. What song do you pick?
Oh God, you ever hear me? I can't even speak. Love on the Rocks.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you a traveler or a homebody?
I am a world traveler, as much as possible.
This is interesting. Maybe ties into your earlier background. What's one career that you wish you could have other than your existing career?
You asked it. My fantasy career would be a referee in the WWE.
Oh, man, that's awesome. What a great answer. What's the weirdest food that you've ever eaten?
I'm not a fancy eater, but I would say uni.
Oh, okay. Well, you told us the best piece of advice you've ever been given. Or is there another piece? Anything that you would?
Don't make a short-term mistake that will affect you long-term.
Amazing piece of advice. If you're at somebody else's home, what do you look for and judge good or bad? So when you're in somebody's home, what makes an impression on you?
Well, for someone who's typically messy by trade, I like to see that they have a nice clean table.
Okay, that works. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be?
Los Angeles.
Me too. Do you have a motto that you say often or a quote?
I have quite a few. We have a word that goes around our office, and it ties into my Brooklyn Italian roots. Everything is shangad. Like it's like a hot mess. Like you have a nice suit on, you get a little coffee stain, you're shangad.
I know all about shangad.
Right. So I would say I'm shangad.
I love that. All right, good. So listen, before we end here, it's customary for you to take us on a little bit of a tour of your home. I've been asking people to go to the kitchen, to their refrigerator. I do want to see your balcony, though. I'm sure other people do if they know anything about the balcony.
Okay, so when I watched what Corey, you said about your what's the one random purchase you bought? Well,
yeah.
Mine was my apartment in 2015, sight unseen. But we're gonna go outside. I don't know if you can see it. Jay, can you see it good?
Yeah, we can see perfect.
But I'm blessed to have about.
We're losing the connection. Here we go. Hang on.
I don't know if you can you see, Jay?
Yeah, it's cutting out a little bit. Oh, now we can. What is that? A restaurant or your apartment?
No, that's my apartment. I have a three exposure 1,600-foot balcony on the corner of 50th and Second. And there's nothing better than sitting,
when are we
having a cigar on the couch with a fire pit on. I do it about 20 Sundays a year.
So
that's what we do, the cuisine, where I cook for my friends.
Day. Yeah.
Yes, have a nice drink outside, smoke a cigar. It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse.
Tommy D, take us to the kitchen quick. Show us what you're surviving on in isolation.
Well, I've been cooking every day, so I've been trying to keep it as clean as possible. My cleaning lady is a casualty of the corona non-travel, but it's okay. Last night I made beef stew over noodles, some stuffed shells. I have some fruit, half a bottle of champagne that was a coronavirus guest disappearance, and some water, and we'll see what's coming next.
There we go. Tommy D, I love you, brother, man. Thank you so much for doing
Love you, brother. Thank you, Jay.
I appreciate you.
Can't wait, and I look forward to seeing it.
Excellent, brother. It'll be out this week, man. I'll let you know.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Tommy. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
I just walked in, but y'all already know me. Things in the world nowadays getting oldie. Chilling in the crib with the fam, getting cozy. Talking with my people, we at home with our homies.